Hello YouTube, this is RV Granny. Today I'm taking you to Steilacoom, Washington. In 1853, Washington was separated from the Oregon Territory and became its own Washington Territory. 1 year later, Steilacoom was founded. Steilacoom became the first incorporated town in the territory of Washington. Steilacoom is a beautiful little town that sits right on the Puget Sound. Steilacoom was founded 35 years before Washington became a state. Back then, the Oregon Territory included Washington, Oregon, Idaho, parts of Wyoming, and parts of Montana. There are some beautiful homes and mansions in Steilacoom, and there are 4 buildings that are listed on the National Registry of Historic Places. This brick building to the right is a private residence. They also have a ferry terminal. It's one of the many ferries that transport people back and forth across the Sound. That horn you're hearing is not the ferry and it's not the train. It's the signal telling people to stop for the railroad tracks. We got there just in time to watch one of the ferries dock. You may have seen an old movie made in 1989 that starred Nick Nolte and Martin Short. It was called The Three Fugitives, and in the movie, Nick Nolte was a prisoner that was being released, and he came into this dock on a ferry. I'll explain that later. Here are a few of the beautiful houses I was talking about. Here comes the explanation. Over across the bay is what used to be a federal prison. It was established in 1875, but in 1981 it was turned over to the state of Washington. It closed again in 2011 and now only has a detention center for special inmates that are violent sex offenders. It is referred to as the McNeil Island Prison. The Birdman of Alcatraz once spent some time here. In the distance you can see the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. This is actually the 3rd incarnation of this bridge. The original one was built in July of 1940 and promptly fell down in November of 1940. If you've ever seen a film of Galloping Gertie, this is that bridge. This is the Steilacoom Indian Cultural Center. contains a museum today, and here's the town hall. I kind of brought you back to this little spot because I forgot to show you something before. That little area close to the water over there, where it looks like it's bare, that's the Chambers Bay Golf Course. They held the 2015 U.S. Open there this year. We went up and drove past the golf course because it's not that far away, but I wasn't able to get really good shots. I just thought some of you golfers might be interested in seeing where it is. From here we went past the old Fort Steilacoom location. If you've watched very many of my videos, you've heard me mention Fort Steilacoom before. After the Civil War, they closed down Fort Steilacoom and they turned it into an insane asylum. From that, it has become Western State Mental Hospital. But there are monuments to the old history of the place. Few of the buildings from the old fort are still standing, and occasionally they open them to the public. The end of this month they're going to do that, and I plan on going there to make a video to show you. Here's one of the monuments I was talking about. This one talks about the military road that was built.
This one is difficult to read. 1852, Congress appropriated $20,000 for the military road from Fort Steilacoom, which is right across the street, to Fort Walla Walla. The road was made passable in 1855.
It doesn't sound very impressive until you realize that they did that in 3 years, and even on today's roads, Fort Steilacoom to Walla Walla is almost 300 miles and over a mountain range. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and come back again and watch the rest of this story. Bye.